Hi, and welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about private drone use in South Africa. Now, when it comes to drone law in South Africa, there's a lot of misconceptions. South Africa have their own set of laws when it comes to drones and their private use. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown. I first want to tell you what you are not allowed to do, because here are things that a lot of people get wrong. Most importantly, number one, how high may you fly? You are not allowed to fly higher than 45 meters. That's 150 feet, because those are the regulations. Actually, it says you're not allowed to fly higher than the highest object within 300 meters of you. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, guess what? You're not allowed to fly higher than yourself if you are the highest object in that area. Secondly, you do not need a license. A lot of people are under the impression that you need some kind of certificate or permission or some kind of license for hobby use. No. In South Africa, you need no certificate, no permit, nothing if you're going to be using your drone for private flights. You do not need to register your drone with the CAA or anyone else. If you're going to be using it for yourself, private flights, playing around, hobby use, no registration of your drone is required. You are not allowed to fly within 50 meters of people who are not directly under your control. If you go to an area with your friend and your girlfriend and one or two pals, and you are going to fly, and they are there, and you have informed them you're going to be flying, you have a safe area where you're going to be taking off your drone, then that's safe, because those people are under your direct control and they are fully aware. However, if you are in an area where there are other people, you may not come closer than 50 meters of them, because they are not under your control. You are not allowed to fly within 50 meters of a public road. If it is a public road, you may not take off from that road, nor are you allowed to fly closer than 50 meters of that public road. That is the law. Irrespective of where that road is, if it's a public road, stay more than 50 meters away from it. You are not allowed to fly within 50 meters of buildings. Yes, any fixed structure. You are not allowed to fly within 50 meters of those buildings. You are not allowed to fly within 10 kilometers of an airport or airfield. If it's a registered airfield, you are not allowed to fly within a 10-kilometer radius. That's a diameter of 20 kilometers. You're not allowed to fly within 10 kilometers of that. You are not allowed to fly at night. As soon as it's sundown until sunrise, you may not take off your drone. And if your drone is in the air, it must land before sundown. And it may not take off before sunrise. That is the law. I see so many people actually breaking this one. Night photos, etc., of highways and cityscapes. It's breaking the law. You may not fly within no-fly zones. If you don't know how to find a no-fly zone, just go Google it. No-fly zones, South Africa, in Google. You will find it. There are many areas where you may not fly. Nature reserves are some of the national key points, but your no-fly zone maps will actually show you all these no-fly zones. I'll actually put a link down in the description where you can find a popular no-fly zone map. You are not allowed to fly over any property of which you do not have explicit permission of the owner to fly over. If your drone crosses a fence line into a property of someone who has not given you explicit permission, you are breaking the law. You are also not allowed to use your drone for commercial purposes or for any kind of commercial gain or favor. This includes weddings. If you are not an ROC, an RPL, ASL, and full license holder, you're not allowed to use your drone at a wedding, irrespective of whether it is a favor or not charged or for a friend. You are not allowed to do it. If you see a drone taking off at a wedding or being used at a wedding for video or for photos, you can contact your nearest SAPS, because those people are breaking the law, unless they have in their possession ROC and RPL licenses. An RPL alone means nothing. An RPL is not a commercial license. An RPL needs to be combined with an ASL, RLA, certificate of registration with the CIA, etc. So if you don't have all those licenses and ROC, you cannot fly at a wedding. And no, the South African regulations in Part 101 do not make provision for anyone operating their RPL under the ROC of another company. If you're not employed by the company or directly contracted by them, and your drone is not registered with the CIA through them, and it is not maintained by them, and not under their insurance, then no, you cannot operate under someone else's ROC. It is illegal. You're not allowed to fly over sporting events, especially schools. Concerts, not allowed to fly over concerts or near those people even, or higher than 45 meters or the highest object within that area. I have seen people use drones at cycling events, park runs. It's illegal. A lot of people say, but who's going to stop me? Well, yes, you can get away with it. And for now, people are still getting away with breaking the law. They're flying up to 120 meters or even higher. I've seen people fly up to 500 meters up. And people boasting that they've flown with 2 kilometers away with their small little drones, or with bigger drones up to 4 kilometers away. It is illegal. You're not allowed to do that. No matter how you try and explain it away, or stating that I'm flying safe. Flying safe while you are breaking the law is still breaking the law. If I am driving safely at 140 kilometers per hour, is it safe for me to drive at that speed? Yes. If you're a very experienced driver, you're a race car driver, you have a lot of certifications for safe driving, etc., and you know how to handle a car, yes, you can get away with it until you go over a speed trap and you get caught. No matter how you try and explain that to a traffic officer, you are going to get a fine because you are breaking the law. The same thing with a stop street. I see a lot of people just slack off. We've seen this. We see this every day. People slack off when they get to the stop street and doop, they just go over it. Because they say, oh, I've checked both ways. There are no cars coming. And why must I come to a complete stop? Well, then they just go over the stop street. But I can guarantee you, if there's a traffic officer parked with his car right next to that stop street, every single person will come to a complete stop before they pull away again. Why? Because that is the law. And if that traffic officer is a little ways down the road and he pulls you off and says to you, but you slacked off and then you went over the stop street, no matter how you try and explain it to him, you are going to get a ticket, because the law says you must come to a complete stop. People may think that I'm just thumb sucking this information or just reading it up somewhere, etc. No, this information is available on the CAA website if you go read it properly and without trying to reinterpret it. A lot of other people trying to reinterpret it, etc. And unfortunately, a lot of this information has been reinterpreted on retail websites. I'm actually going to give you 3 examples of retail websites that actually give you the wrong information. And I have verified this information. I would like to give a shout out to Vuyisa Mtejo, who assisted me quite a bit in clarifying some of these laws. He is a senior airworthiness inspector at the CAA and also part of the RPAS team. And he knows these regulations very, very well. You're welcome to contact him directly as well at the CAA. We'll put the links in the description, also the RPAS email for the CAA and the number for the CAA that you can contact to verify this information that I have given you. I do not want to break down or attack any retailer out there, so I'm not going to name these retailer companies. This one company states, can fly up to the height of the highest object in 300 meters of the drone. That part is correct, but up to a max of 400 feet. That is wrong. Hobby use drone or private use drone may not fly anywhere near 400 feet. It's only 150 feet or 45 meters. Another point which is not made very clear, it is stated here, can fly up to 500 meters away from the pilot while maintaining direct line of sight. Now, that's correct, but it should be made very clear. If you have a small drone and you cannot see it at 100 meters, you're not allowed to fly further. You have to maintain visual sight of it. If you lose sight of it, you have to come closer. So it's not that 500 meters is your limit, it's your visual line of sight up to 500 meters. Perhaps you have a much bigger drone, a 1 meter sized hexacopter or something weighing under 7 kilograms. That drone might still be visible for 2-3 kilometers. However, you may only fly up to 500 meters. That is the law. Here I have a completely different retail company who state, max distance, the drone may fly up to 500 meters away from the pilot while maintaining direct line of sight. That is a great clarification, which is something I'd like to see on that other retailer site. However, again, their height is wrong. They state, the drone may not fly higher than 120 meters, 400 feet, from the ground, and it must stay below the height of the highest obstacle within 300 meters of the pilot. Wrong. Though that second part is kind of right, it's correct, most people see the first part. So there's no kind of clarity here. It must be clarified that even if the highest object is very high, you may not fly higher than 45 meters, which is only 150 feet, not 400 feet. 400 feet in the 120 meter limit is for RPL owners who are flying under ROC, not for private use. Private use is limited to 150 feet or 45 meters. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that and that you now understand how you may use your drone. You may use it for yourself. You may not sell the footage. You may not give the footage away. You may not do someone a favor. You may not sell the footage later, even if it's old footage. But you can use it for yourself as you wish, as long as you have captured the footage, including photos, in a legal manner. Remember, your photos may be used against you. Your video footage may be used against you. And if the police arrive at your home to arrest you on instruction of the CIA. Remember, the police are there. They police the regulations, and if the CIA inform them of a lawbreaker, you become a potential criminal and the police can arrest you. And if the police arrive while you are flying, cooperate at all times. Also, you are welcome to contact the CIA directly. I'm not employed by the CIA at all. I've just done a lot of research and communication with them to confirm these laws and confirm that the laws that the other people are giving you are actually incorrect. So please, these are the correct laws. If there is anything that I have stated which you feel is wrong or incorrect, please put it in the comments. And remember, I am not there to make your lives difficult as a private drone owner or drone flyer or hobbyist, whatever. I am just there to tell you what these laws are and what they really are and keep you out of trouble. From here, it is your responsibility as a drone owner to go and study these laws in these links below. Don't get upset with me. If you feel the drone laws are unfair, contact the CIA. I can't do anything about the laws. I can't change the laws. The law is the law. Only the CIA can change these regulations. Feel free to contact them. See you in the next video.